Great. Well, we are here for another episode of It's Good to Talk with Clients. And today I've got with me Chris Kensignton of Brisan Accounting. And it's great to have you with us, Chris. Can you explain a little bit about yourself, a little bit about Brisan? What is it you do? A bit about the firm?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. So yeah, for me, we purchased the business back in July 2020. So it's been a full-on year for us, I guess. We're a team of 9, and our mission, if you like, is just to provide clarity and insight for all of our clients, and using software like this and others in the market to try and automate as much of that boring accountancy stuff that you see so much of, so then our clients can actually spend their money on having useful conversations with us, which has been much more regularly over the last year, what with furlough and the grants and everything else. So yeah, it's been a real fun 9 months, I'd say. So yeah, really.
And that's great. And where are you based, Chris? And give us an insight as to kind of what your client base or portfolio looks like.
Yeah, so we're based in Maidstone, Kent, just off Junction 5 of the M20. Our client base, all small owner-managed businesses. Mostly, I would say there are clients that are getting on board with software. Love things like Zero, of course. And they are your sort of 1 to 2 man bands that don't have that in-house finance function, that need the support from an outside professional. And that's who we are. So I've been working with a lot of our clients for about 10, 11 years now, and then I purchased the business last year. So yeah, lots of ongoing relationships. We're quite specialist is a strong word, but I guess we're quite well experienced in construction, just based on where we are. We tend to have a lot of construction clients on our books.
Great. No, that's really helpful to know. So in terms of, you say you want to talk more regularly to clients, and we were talking about this only a few minutes ago. How do you find the time to talk with clients regularly, and particularly in this construction sector? Do clients just want to know about CIS and how to set up Zero? Like, how do you find time to talk to clients about their business?
Yeah, so it's using software is a huge part of it. So for me, if we're not spending time doing that day-to-day mundane, let's get receipts out of a bag type work, and allowing the software to automate a lot of that accountant's time, then it does naturally free up the time to have those conversations. Obviously, it's tricky in construction, so we like to send out the emails, some pre-recorded videos about what their figures in the accounts mean, and then having like quick snapshot meetings. So just set a very basic agenda. Here's the numbers. Here's what they mean. Here's what you can do to potentially improve, and away you go. Just try and make the conversations meaningful, as opposed to a load of old waffle, which is probably what I'm doing now. So.
No, it's pretty insightful, I think. And just in terms of, so you say you've got a team of 9. What sort of stages of their career are they at? Are they talking to clients, or is it something only you do in the business?
No, so we have a couple of chartered accountants in our team who are very sort of client facing, as you would expect. We've got a couple of AATs and then some trainees as well. So they all speak to our clients, but there's just different conversations. So we've got a smaller in-house team that will make sure we've got all the receipts and everything's uploaded okay, and the software is provided as much clarity as it possibly can. And then the qualified team will then talk about the insights and how clients can potentially improve and what we can do to help them better than what we do today. So.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. You said so different people in your team have different conversations depending on their knowledge level and their schedule, I presume. Aside from tax liabilities, filing deadlines, what is it you can talk about? You mentioned construction, so you've clearly got deep knowledge of the construction vertical. What is it that you can help a construction business about other than filing deadlines, tax liabilities? How do you add value?
Yeah, it's a good question, unexpected question. Thank you. So for me, I guess the construction world, we normally find there's two types. There's the one that, will plow on regardless, and think that, if I get another 6 jobs, then I'm going to be okay. When actually, in construction, there's a lot of month end work to be done with regards to how is that construction contract valued. What are the accruals within that process as well? So, it's all about what's the application dates. Are there any expenses that we're expecting to come through? And it's actually just keeping a very tight eye on the expectation after the last valuation date. So, it very quickly runs out of cash in construction. So it's either like massively high or ridiculously low. So it's a real battle to just to try and keep the cash on track. So that's where the main focus is for me. And it's sort of that month-end process of just trying to get everything lined up and those construction contracts properly valued. So it gives the business owner a sense of peace of mind, I guess, and security that what they're doing, is going to pay dividends at the end of the contract. So.
Yeah, no, interesting. And that is really just okay. So cash flow clearly really key for the sector, and maybe they've actually, I don't know actually how the sector's fared over the last 12 months, but it has. Can you think of any specific conversations that you've had in the last 12 months with a client, construction or otherwise, where can you remember the conversation? What was it that you've told them, and what action could they take off the back of it? Can you think of a specific example, like where you've given a piece of advice, whether it's hiring someone, whether it's have you realised this project's unprofitable for you, or can you remember a specific conversation you've had?
Yeah, so most of the time it's awkward conversations because I'm trying to spot the weakness. So I love a bit of challenge. So I love challenging and being challenged. So in construction, that's quite a common theme, because what I'm trying to do is just make sure that the weakness in the business is identified and then dealt with. So there's last 12 months, I think it was, we spotted a fraud within the business. Obviously, I won't say, but this particular business, because they couldn't understand why the project wasn't as profitable as it was perhaps, or as they were expecting it to be. So going into the analysis of that project and trying to understand the cash flow within that one project, although they had many on the go, led to us finding out that someone was pinching. So that really, it's not necessarily accounting value, but keeping an eye on the numbers, providing the clarity and the challenge, spots things like this, because construction, they tend to be full on. They're out the door at 5:30, and they don't necessarily have the time to look at this sort of thing. So that was quite useful. And then this year, that project is now back on track because they've been able to focus their efforts on turning that around. So just a really meaningful look at the numbers throws up all sorts of things.
No, absolutely. And so the fact that the project's been able to continue, potentially that couldn't have happened if they didn't spot this fraud, and who knows where that fraud may have led to. So I can clearly see the impact of that. In terms then, like you've been working with these clients 10, 11 years, some of them. Like has the relationship changed, I guess with some construction businesses, maybe you didn't meet face to face all that much anyway, but has there been a change in the last 12, 18 months into kind of how that relationship works at all?
Yeah, so the phone has never been so busy. But what we've been trying to do is actually, we're very, I guess probably it was only 3-4 years ago, just very reactive to stuff. We'd wait for the records to come in. We'd wait for the clients to tell us what to do. It was absolute madness. So it's just flipping that conversation around. just for us to get ahead of it. So, I mean, we've communicated Zoom, Skype, Teams, WhatsApp, web, all sorts of ways over the last year. But I think what's worked quite well for us is just making sure there's a regular update on all things that are changing. Comes from me, either in an email form or a video, like a pre-recorded Loom or something like that. And then that's followed up with phone calls. I'm a big believer in don't hide behind an email, although, emails are my pet hate. I'd much rather just pick up the phone, have a quick, call like we are today, and just try. And I think in a world where we're now not really allowed to see face to face, we're craving that interaction in some way, shape, or form. So just trying to make sure you keep in touch. Yeah,
no, I completely agree. I was talking to someone yesterday about actually kind of how the role of accountant, you seem to have become a semi-counsellor, even if they are like in the construction vertical where, it might be a bloke in his 30s who's pretty tough, but actually if he's got to pay a couple of staff members and he's feeling pretty pressured by it because he hasn't got the cash, like your role is actually kind of a bit of a support role as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's not always about clients rely on us. It's you'll be surprised the amount of conversations that lead into them helping me out. I think it's just having the connection, which has actually been a really good thing to come out of COVID. So, yes, it's not face to face, but actually I feel much more connected now than I have done in my accounting career to date. So, it's just trying to keep up the communication piece. It's, stay in touch, and you can help each other no matter what business, no matter what sector. So we're all in it together, right? So
absolutely, and you're sorted if you ever need an extension or something. So that's you. All good. All right. So one last question. What are accounting firms? So some firms are doing really well in this time. I think we've picked up on quite a lot of themes through this chat, but what are they doing well? How do you be a good accounting firm at the moment, basically?
Cool. Yeah. So for me, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of software. There's a lot of apps. There's a lot of updates from government. Changes all over the place, and I think it's not running away from that change. I think that's been the key for me personally. It's very easy just to hide, go back in your shell, and hope it all goes away. But it's not. The world is changing, and it's just hitting conversations, hitting potential problems, updates head on, and just trying to be the very best that you can be. No one has all of the answers, but everyone's able to have a conversation. So, it's just trying to educate yourself, make sure you're aware of all of the updates, provide as much clarity to clients as we possibly can, which then leads on to hopefully some useful insights, and just be there. It's been a challenge the last year, and I think what makes a good accounting firm. Going back to your question, I think it's just showing up. If you're showing up and you're being the very best and as trying to gain as much knowledge from every source as possible, then you are doing a great job. And I know many accountants out there doing a wonderful job. I'm all for accountants becoming key workers, right? It's been just show up would be my top tip, I guess.
I think that's brilliant advice. To be honest, it's very easy to become apathetic or overwhelmed, and actually, you're human as an accountant. Turn up, give your insight. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least turn up. And I think that's brilliant. Great. Okay, Chris. Well, thanks for your time on this session. That was really valuable for us. Cheers.
Great. Thank you.
Cheers. Hopefully you enjoyed that short interview. My name is Andrew Jordan. I am the CEO at Connect4. Please do book a demo. Click on book a demo, and we will love to talk you through our platform and to show it in action. And great to have you with us.